Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, your girl, the one and only Tiffany E, aka Sexline TV2, and I am here to give you guys all of the tea when it comes to wrestling and maybe a little bit of odds and ends in between there. So why don't you go ahead, go get your snacks, go get your juice, go get you a good drink, a good glass of wine if you can drink it. If you're underage, don't be drinking, okay? Go on and get you some juice or something and sit back and listen as we kiki and holler about wrestling. Because over here, you get a plethora of things when it comes to my show, okay? You get wrestling commentary.
No benefit of the doubt. Dr. Phil say don't do that. Dr. Phil say when somebody show you who they are, and so did Maya Angelou, believe them. Them two hoes are snakes. They've been snakes, and them hoes was like that when you got there, and they like that now, so fuck them both. And they did the right thing by letting them headline WrestleMania. They most definitely deserve to headline WrestleMania. And that is how you close a mania.
What else will you get? You'll also get a weekly recap of every single show that WWE has to offer. Monday Night Raw after show, NXT after show, and of course a Friday Night SmackDown after show. You'll also get a recap of all the Big 5 PLEs. I even do the Saudi shows for you. And then, if it's good and worth the time, I may even throw a little AEW in there. But of course, I will do my best to make sure I recap as many PLEs as possible. If I don't have it, then I'll throw it to one of my friends who do know it. We also cover pop culture, and we have really good time over here with lifestyle and just giving advice. So, if you're ready, it's showtime, and that is on the ancestors, baby.
All right, y'all. NXT was so much fun. I still gotta edit and post everything. I still have to post stuff to TikTok. It was so much fun, Jared. It was so much fun. NXT was just, it was fun. It was so much fun. God. Raw was fun yesterday, but NXT is light years ahead of it. Oh, it was just so fucking good. So if you missed it, don't worry. I'm gonna break everything down for y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna get that started, but first I have to say hi to my peoples, and I have to give out the top commenter of the day. Okay, so hold tight. Top commenter of the day goes to Kayla. Kayla's the top commenter of the day. Appreciate Kayla. She's always here on time. She's usually about the fourth or third person, but for the last 2 days, Kayla's been numero uno. She's been bringing her ass into here, okay? So shout out to you, Kayla. You're number one. Kenny is always in the top 5 at the bare minimum, and she's one of my moderators. So shout out to you, Kenny Ken. And Aaliyah's back in the top. So shout out to you, Aaliyah, for being on time and being early. How y'all doing? Mika's here. Hello. Pierre. Hi. And young boy Jay. Hi, young boy Jay. How are you? Listen, we got a lot to cover. I want to make sure we get into NXT so you guys can get a full breakdown of NXT. Hold on, let me change my background right quick. Make sure we have everything right. Why didn't I put the NXT background back here? And I put the Raw one over here, but not the NXT one. What was wrong with me? All right, let's do extra large icons so I can see. Baby, that's nasty.
My ear is itching.
Hold tight, y'all. Hold on just a little while longer. Oh, it won't let me upload it. Okay, let me take this down. It's gonna be alright. Hey, hold on. Just a little while longer. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. It's giving me all types of hell for this particular one, and I do not understand why. It's hold on. If you missed NXT today, I promise you, you missed such a good show from start to finish. It was absolutely amazing. Okay, they didn't just focus on one thing. They built No Mercy up literally within that hour. In that first hour, No Mercy was built, and it just Shawn Michaels, chef's kiss. Okay, it was so freaking good. Let me get into it. Okay, want to make sure that I have everything for you guys. Hey, you guys. So we're gonna play round robin today. We're gonna talk about what happened in the show because there were some matches that were announced later on, but weren't necessarily announced originally in terms of the big matches that were announced prior to last, after last week. There were some new matches added to the card, and sir, I'm gonna get those cards right now. I already got that one, and I have that one. Okay. So let's get into this show, shall we? NXT started off with what did it start off with? The Global Heritage Invitational, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I found it. I think I got it. We're gonna go ahead and switch that up. Okay. Get that in. Very good. All right. Now we're set and ready to go. Okay. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Y'all the twos and I'm the ones. No pun intended. Kayla best. That's Bessie. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So NXT started off with this match. Since it was the only match on the card that was going to define where they were going in terms of who was going to face off against Noam Dar, that particular match was up first. Plus, there was a strap match that needed to happen. And quite frankly, with the way that strap match went, they definitely could have had that first. But they set the tone with Joe Coffey and Butch. This match was fun. As much as I don't like Joe Coffey personally, I will say that as a wrestler, he does hit pretty much every box. He was solid in the ring. He has really good ring awareness, and he did what he was supposed to in terms of making you be invested in this matchup. Butch is always going to be good. I'm never going to say he's not a good wrestler. He's excellent at what he does, especially with the joint manipulation. That is his key thing, snapping and pulling back the fingers. It works in his favor. There was only one spot in this match that was terrible on Joe Coffey's side, and it cost him his this particular opportunity. He could not get over his frustration of Butch being able to kick out of everything that he was doing. And so towards the end, he pulled Butch out of the ring, had him leaning up against the steps, and tried to, I don't know what he calls it. It looks like a torpedo style move. Yeah. You know what I mean? He like torpedoed into the man, but he ended up hitting those steel stairs. That was his one and only error in this entire match. Right. He caught it in the ring when they were going back and forth. He caught him a couple times, actually, AJ. But he ended up hitting him with that move, and he ended up busting his face on them damn steps. Butch was able to get him in the ring, and then the rest is history. Butch advanced, and he is the one who will challenge Noam Dar for the the Heritage Cup, and they're going to do it with Heritage Cup rules. Okay, that is going to be on Saturday. So we got that out the way. Let's get her deleted. Next thing we had going was actually a decent match between Trick and Joe Gacy. Last week, Joe Gacy was trying to hit at Trick Williams and put a little bit of distance between he and Carmelo Hayes. Quite frankly, Joe Gacy didn't have to do that because it's naturally there. And it seems like the two men are going in two separate trajectories. Trick Williams is on the rise while Melo's trying to maintain his trajectory. You feel what I'm saying? Now, they had this match. In this match, Trick Williams looked absolutely stellar. He was solid. He had good ring awareness, like I always say. He was very good in terms of selling, and he executed his moves effectively. Joe Gacy also complimented him well. They have very good ring chemistry with each other. That match was fun to watch as well. Ultimately, though, Joe Gacy was not able to best Trick Williams, and Trick was able to pick up the win over Gacy. Now, after the match was over, they had an analyst come in there and talk to him. I don't know who this woman was. I ain't never seen her before. So I was like, I don't know who this lady is, but okay. She came in and basically she was just asking him, do you believe that Carmelo can beat Ilya Dragunov? And he was just like, can we celebrate the fact that I just won my match against Joe Gacy? Can we give me some respect and love for that? But he like, since you asked me this question, I'm gonna answer it. He said there are a lot of things that I don't think Carmelo, that he said there's a lot of things that we can talk about and move into, but he said I know for a fact that Carmelo can beat him. He said that he knows Ilya Dragunov hits hard. I'm one of the first men who can say that because I've experienced it myself. But I know for a fact that he is going to beat him. And when I say him, I mean him. Carmelo Hayes is going to win and retain his championship. So that was that. After a while, though, a little couple seconds go by, and he sat and he thought about it, and he said, you know what? It's time for me to set my own path in NXT. I need to go back there and make some moves. So he left and he went in the back. Now I went on my Instagram way before the show even started. And I said that Trick Williams could possibly go after that North American Championship. That it would be interesting to see him go after that championship. And low key, he definitely could be the North American champion. I wouldn't mind that. Okay. And if I be damned, his black ass is in the triple threat. Now, there was a triple threat set for NXT today to determine who was going to go up against Dominic Mysterio at No Mercy. You see, Dominic Mysterio had beaten Dragon Lee fair and square, and there was nobody else for him to compete against because, of course, Mustafa Ali is gone from WWE. And with all that being said, the boys, they was ready. You feel me? So Shawn Michaels set up a triple threat. It was going to be Axiom versus Tyler Bate versus Dragon Lee. But because Trick Williams went back there and spoke to Shawn Michaels, he was then added to the match. And that was your final match of the night. It was Trick Williams versus Dragon Lee versus Trick Williams versus Dragon Lee versus Axiom versus Tyler Bate. That match was absolutely stellar. Okay. It was sensational. All right. It was so much fun to watch. I love that match. 10 out of 10 across the board. Very much one of my favorite matches of the year. I will argue with your mama on that one. This is no lie. Okay. It was so much fun to watch. Addison here screaming and hollering. Bakersfield is going to be insane when they have Dragon Lee. When I'm going to tell y'all what happened with Dragon Lee in just a second. This is I aim to please. I swear Joe and Butch are such a good pairing. All of their WWE matches are great. I've never seen them wrestle each other before, so that's Kelly Kincaid, Elton Prince's girlfriend. All right. It's fine. So moving on, they also had a match between Baron Corbin and Briggs. Briggs came out there. He real spelt. You know, Briggs done lost a little LBs. Just shaped up a little bit. He's smaller in the waist, smaller in the legs. The man is Briggs look nice. Not gonna lie. Okay. And for the most part, he had Baron Corbin with his. Let me tell you something. Oftentimes when I watch wrestling, I will get distracted by things that you're not supposed to get distracted by. I'm like, why is Baron Corbin's nipples so raw? What was you doing before you came out there, bro? Like, what is happening? Was you wearing nipple clamps? What is this? I mean, they were bright red. And they was hanging down. You know how you ever seen like a dog with the nipples out because they breastfeeding? Or you ever seen a cow's udders? Like right after the baby calf, the sucked on the udder, like it's a visual that I have to paint so you can understand what I'm saying. It's just something that concerned me. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? You do that freaky shit on your own time, okay? Anyways, the match. These two had a good match too. I'm not gonna lie. For the most part, Briggs was taking Baron Corbin's ass out, but Baron was able to utilize the ref, poke Briggs in the eye, and then that's how he was able to get the upper hand. And Briggs ended up losing. I wish he wouldn't have, but they did it. Thank you, because some people was acting like I'm a weirdo, but whatever. Ultimately, he picked up the microphone for some reason and started talking shit about Brian Breaker. Brian Breaker came out there and thought he was going to start talking, but they just started fighting. These two men fought the whole time throughout the entire show. From the time they got out of there in that ring, they ended up fighting again backstage, and they closed the show with them two fighting again. It was a mess, okay? Let's get into the next part. So Thea went up against Danny Palmer. Thea debuts her new look. Quite frankly, there wasn't really much to it. Like, I mean, she looked how she normally looked. She just had on a skirt and a top with it. And To be fair, she looked like a rinky-dink version of JC, and it wasn't cute. JC looks tacky, so she's tacky too. I'm just like, girl, ain't that much leather and black in the world? Okay, I I don't get it, but live your best life, I guess. She keep running around talking about she a grown ass woman, but if you ask me, if you have to keep asking or looking to the approval of another woman to maintain your self esteem and who you are, then that doesn't make you grown. It makes you a dependent, a parasite, somebody who needs someone else to guide them along where they want to go. But good luck to you, Thea, because have a feeling that little ways down the line, JC's gonna drop your ass like a bad habit, and then you're gonna go back to chase you, or you can go on your own and do your own thing. You had a solid match with Danny Palmer, if we're being fair. These two put on a really good match. They were matching each other move for move, bar for bar, and Thea did an excellent job of working on Danny Palmer's arm and taking her out with that submission. She really, really did well in that regard. The gear she had was nice. I didn't mind the black gear, but the black leather skirt and the top was underwhelming in terms of she got a new look. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna get new look, new hair, new everything. She still got blonde hair down her back and she still looked like Thea. She just got on racier clothes. It doesn't do anything. Like, whatever. If you like it, I love it. But just know that one of these days you're gonna see that that was a mistake. Hey, Tirza. So let's talk about Blair and Gigi Dolan. They were supposed to have a match today, but Blair decided to pull one of her Houdini tricks and turn off the lights while Gigi was getting dressed and attack her. Then she went out while Vic was on commentary right before Danny Palmer and Thea Hale's match, grabbed the microphone because Vic told everybody that Gigi was not cleared to wrestle due to the attack by Blair Davenport. And Blair said to her clearly, the next time you want to play in my ring, you better want to finish the job. Because she said, if you try that shit again, I'm going to make sure I take you out for good. My thing is, if you are as dangerous as everybody touts you to be, then why do you have to turn off the lights to beat them up? I feel like you should be able to attack somebody head on and still be that girl. But you can't, can you? Oh, then you and them flappy kick pads be getting real frustrated. Girl, let's get to this match. Look, Eddie Thorpe went up against Dijak. This was a strap match, okay? Strap matches are always I'm a little weary when it comes to strap matches, okay? It's not because, you know, I don't necessarily like them, which to be fair, I'm not a big fan of it. But I'm a little leery about white men walking around with straps whipping people, okay? So and Thorpe is indigenous, so that didn't sit too well in my spirit. Okay. But for the most part, these two were battling in this match. It was a good matchup between the two of them. However, Dijak is a shitty loser. He lost fair and square. It wasn't like Eddie Thorpe cheated. The match was a strap match. He didn't use nothing else but the strap. He got mad because he got bested. And so he attacked Eddie Thorpe while he was celebrating, took him out, and then wrapped the strap around him and like around his feet and locked him in on the top rope while Eddie Thorpe was hanging down over the side of the turnbuckle. And then he just whipped him with his own belt while Eddie Thorpe's family was sitting right there. It was really brutal. And I told y'all I don't like that. Like that just seemed racist. I can't explain it, but it just felt racist. I ain't like it. Now she won't be that girl. It felt racist. I didn't like it. I'm not a fan of it, especially since Dijak lost the match. He cheated and won the first time that they had the match, and he lost this one. He lost it by his own rules that he wanted, and yet he was too shitty of a loser to just accept his fate. So I'm pretty sure this isn't over now, and we have to suffer through something else between the two of them, which is just it's just sick. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. What you looking for? So yeah, Eddie Thorpe did beat Dijak, but he ended up getting whipped for his troubles. Well, that's interesting. Now, like I said before, there were matches on the card that were not announced, and they didn't set up a graphic for those matches either. So the final match of the night was the Fatal Four Way. It was between Axiom, Tyler Bate, Dragon Lee, and Trick Williams. This was the best match of the night. It was so much fun to watch. I haven't had the chance to upload the clips that I watched with me and AJ, but I will have them up after I'm done over here. But it was so good. There were so many moments. I can't even describe how good this match was. They kept Trick out of the match in the very beginning. They did everything they could to keep him out of it. But eventually he was dragged in by Dragon Lee. And then that's when the real chaos ensued because all of them were doing their damnness to take out each other. And at the end is where shit was really, really wonky. At the end, Tyler Bate was taking out Axiom. Tyler Bate was taking out Axiom. And as Axiom fell out, Tyler was on the outside of the ring. He ended up on the outskirts of the ring. Dragon Lee went after um he went after Trick. I don't know what happened. I think one of them hit the other, but Trick ended up getting hit in the face. Axiom was already laid out, and Trick laid on top of him, and that's how he got the win. He literally fell.
He got headbutt.
By who?
I can't remember who had.
Because it was Dragon Lee who had. Well, what happened to Dragon Lee? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened.
Yeah, and then Trick reacted to the
Trick
hit
the ropes and took out Tyler back off and then fell onto Axiom. Because I couldn't remember how he ended up falling because there was too much going on. My brain can't process that much chaos at one time. So, anyways, Trick won the match. Trick didn't even realize he won until the ref was holding his arm up. He was like, I won. Slap hands. Slap hands. That was fucking nuts. So, after that, you had Ilya and Carmelo Hayes. To be fair, I kind of wish they would have had Carmelo and Ilya do their contract signing in the middle of the show because that would have been the way to end the show, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But after Trick won, they interviewed Dom again. Now, Dom was sitting there, and Don basically was like, before they did this triple threat, Don was just like, I don't even have to work Saturday. I defended my title successfully. No mommy. It was just me. And I beat Dragon Lee fair and square. Nothing anybody can do about it. I'm going to take a break and just enjoy the festivities on Saturday. Mackenzie was like, hold up, playboy. Listen here, motherhead. Your ass gotta hold on, because just because you ain't got no announced opponent don't mean that there ain't no opponent coming. He was like, Mackenzie, there's no opponent. I'm free. She was like, no, you're not. See, today is a triple threat match between Axiom, Tyler Bate, and Dragon Lee. And he was very much in his feelings about that. He went to go, yelp at Shawn Michaels. He was pretty mad. He had to go whine, complain.
Yelp for help.
He was yelping for help. But Paw Patrol only help good people. Anyway, so after the match was over and Trick Williams won, of course he was bragging about it, bragging about that shiner that he had, because Dragon Lee did bust him in his eye. His eyes toe up from the flow up, okay? He kept talking shit. Dragon Lee came over there and bust him in the back of his head and knocked his ass out. Child. They had to pull him back. So Shawn Michaels' petty ass made the match between Trick and Dominic Mysterio with a special guest referee. The special guest referee is Dragon Lee. A mess. An absolute mess. Now, they did do a little video package for the girls, okay? These two obviously have some bad blood, which rightfully so. And of course, they're going to be battling it out in an Extreme Rules match. Now, basically, Tiffany was like, you was just mad because I was a dominant champion. I was here for a month and I was able to get the title, whereas it took you, 10 years to get the NXT championship. You're just mad because I'm better than you, and I'm always going to be better than you. And then this Saturday, I'm going to prove it. And Becky was just like, girls like Tiffany need to be taught a lesson in humility. I didn't have everything handed to me. I had to bust my ass to get what I got. And now I'm one of the top women in this industry. Sometimes you got to crawl before you walk. And she was like, I'm going to break Tiffany Stratton down like a fraction. And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait. Hello, Donnie. How are you? So the girls are going to be fighting, okay? They just did a nice little video package for Tiffany and Becky. They weren't there. So we just going to have to wait and see, honey, because No Mercy is Saturday. It's only a few days away, and it's going to be in Bakersfield, California. You're going to have an Extreme Rules match between Tiffany Stratton and Becky Lynch for the NXT Women's Championship. Now, Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker have been fighting throughout the whole night. They started fighting during Baron Corbin's match, and they ended the show with them fighting. Baron Corbin got thrown into this car so hard it left a dent on the side. That whole car got a dent in its ass. Okay? Baron Corbin moved out the way, and Braun Breaker's meat-headed ass blew right into the car door. Then they get in front of the car. Braun Breaker slams Corbin on top of the car. Corbin and Braun Breaker are fighting on the hood of the car. He then choke slams Braun Breaker on top of the car. Braun Breaker's ass sits up like the Undertaker, like ain't shit happened. He gets off the car and starts fighting and slamming Baron Corbin's head into the gate. Baron Corbin runs and goes inside the building of the PC. They in there fighting. Baron Corbin throws a fire extinguisher at the man, hits the cameraman holding the camera. They switch to camera B. Braun Breaker takes off like a goddamn bull in the china shop and blasts him through the wall. into Shawn Michaels' office. The show goes off with 17 security guards trying to hold them back. Meanwhile, while they was in the parking lot fighting, they was all out there. Them same amount of security guards was in the fucking parking lot. And I'm like, none of you niggas can do nothing. Why is you here? Why do I pay you if you are not going to be secure and shit? That is your job. To secure. That parking lot is the most hood place in all of the United States of America. Because every time you turn around, somebody is getting hurt, ran over, attacked, or they getting their ass beat in that damn parking lot. I'm surprised ain't no reports of rob. And then I remember a while back somebody said they got their gear stolen from the parking lot. That parking lot is death central. I would never park my car there, ever. And I heard, man. She said, am I a man? Thank you to my man. I don't know. You're going to have to fight hard titty ass Cora for that one. Them titties hard. But I'm sure Brian Breaker enjoys them. That ain't none of my business. So we going to move on. I'm sure you were. Noam Dar and the Metaphor been putting their best Sunday dress on every week of this Global Heritage Invitational. They have been working their Sunday's best, and today was no different. They was dressed like they was getting ready to go to the Kentucky Derby. The only person that wasn't hitting like she was supposed to was Chikara. And that's because I have a faux pas about people wearing bright colors and then putting on black shoes. I know it's a classic, but I feel like Jakara pretty enough to do something better than that. So she could have wore some nude shoes, clear shoes, yellow, because she had a yellow hat on, and she wore a white dress. She could have did anything other than what she did. I love Lash's outfit. Oro is okay. Noam Dar looked better than Oro Mensah did today, and that's saying something. Okay, he looked like somebody's Puerto Rican uncle. It's the best way I can describe it. Dang, it's almost like that time Raquel threw EO through one of the doors in the PC and broke glass and everything. Well, that won't be hard, but at least mine are real. Ciao. Anyways. It's going to be Noam Dar versus Butch for the Heritage Cup. Now, Butch went through everybody in that tournament to be able to become the number one contender. He bested Joe Coffey tonight, and he made sure Noam Dar knew that he was coming for his championship. If Butch wins this Heritage Cup, that means that Butch will be on NXT and he'll be working on SmackDown, and that Heritage Cup will be over there shining and gleaming on that show as well. And with SmackDown moving back to USA Network, it's going to be an interesting time. Okay? But this Saturday, these two are going to go head to head. I don't know how it's going to end, but I am looking forward to it. The only other storyline that needs to be told today is two. One has to do with OTM having their match, and baby, Lucian Price, he was looking like a snack today. You need to go watch that match. If you love Bronco and Lucian, you need to go watch that match. Ignore the baby mini pimp that they got walking around with them. Ignore the baby poser that's running around with them. Ignore him because he means nothing. Focus on the two big behemoths of men that were wrestling, okay? Because I will say this, out of all of the people who have officially came in through the Next in Line program and have debuted in that regard, outside of a few of the girls, these two are the most equipped and the most solid because their very first match, I saw no mistakes. Excellent ring awareness. And they were 100% solid. Same thing in this match against Tank and Hank. They had a match with them on NXT. It was nice. The end is where things get a little murky because that little Reginald the Koala bitch jumped in and distracted the ref. That allowed Lucian to come in and take out Hank or Tank. I can't remember. I think it was Hank. Took out Hank. Lucian and Bronco was able to pick up the win. So Tony and Stacks decided to have a little dinner sit down. They first invited Los Lotharios. I don't know what they call themselves now, but that's what I'm gonna call them, or Angel and Umberto. They got them damn claw, the claw things on their chesticles, and it looked like the kind of tattoos you go to the store and just, put water on the back of and rub it on your chest. You know the kind you get. You remember the movie Jared? What was that movie called? Oh my gosh, I can't think of that. But that's what it looked like. I was like, maybe y'all should just go get real tattoos. You know what I'm saying? Go get real tattoos and do it for your grandpa and not make it fake. Don't do it fake. But it looked fake, therefore it is fake. I don't care what nobody say. Los Lotharios showed up first. They had their little conversation with Tony and Lorenzo. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't listen. Then the Creed brothers showed up. They had their conversation with Tony and Stacks. Basically, they said the same thing that Umberto and Angel said. We want your damn titles. We don't give a damn what we have to do to get them. We want your damn titles. We want our kids. Then, after OTM had their match, they came back there and sat down too. This was after the boys had already been eating, and OTM came back there and sat down. And so Stacks and Tony basically was like, listen, we don't want to hear nothing about we was picking favorites. We don't want to hear no shit about you didn't get an opportunity. You didn't get one. You didn't get one. So we're going to make it real simple. Everybody getting an opportunity. We want to face all of y'all at the same time. So when we do beat you, there's nothing you can say or do because you're already done. You're a done deal, babe. Everybody was like, all right, bet, fair. Let's get it. He was like, all right, let's toast to that. Now, the Creed brothers pissed me off because y'all are grown men sitting up there drinking milk out of a fucking wine glass. You're disrespectful. I don't care if it was almond milk, cashew milk, oat milk, your mama's milk. I don't care. You're nasty. Grow up. Drink water. Shit. You're a grown fucking man and that shit don't make no sense. It's just sad. To quote the ladies in the Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders, anything you can do, I can do better. Bronco, Nima, and Lucian Price are cute, but Scripps, not so much. Why is Brutus Creed me when it came to food in this segment? Baby, he was hungry. He wasn't worried about no damn match. He wanted to eat. To be fair, I don't blame him. Now, like I said, Trick Williams is going up against Dominic Mysterio for the North American Championship, and Dragon Lee is going to be the special guest referee. I don't know how this is all going to play out, but I can tell you this. I have a sneaking suspicion that Dominic Mysterio is going to weasel his way out of this one and retain this championship, and it's going to be because of Dragon Lee. We'll see how it all plays out. Now, today, Miss J announced, or WWE announced, that Miss Jade Cargill is officially a part of the WWE. She has signed a multi-year deal with the WWE, and eventually we will see her on our TV screens. When Jade will show up is subject to opinion. However, I think that Jade can be in NXT for a little while and then move her way up to the main roster. Jade can do a lot of things. There are a lot of places where you can go with Jade, and Jade poses a viable threat to anybody who is champion at this current moment, whether it be Becky Lynch, whether it be Rhea Ripley or Io Sky. She is going to be a full force going into the WWE. She has been everywhere, on every blog and TV, everywhere you can think of. She's been trending on Twitter all freaking day. She's got 10 million views on her announcement of being a part of WWE. I can imagine what her TikTok is looking like right now, what her socials are looking like. The growth of her socials is probably insane. The black girls are up, and we want the smoke. It's going to be interesting. He said, I'm the fastest growing bitch in the E right now. Very much so. Now, there are so many possibilities with Jade Cargill. You can put her up against some of the most dominant females in the company at the moment. Now, I saw a lot of people shitting on Bianca Belair because of Jade. Real talk. Let's keep it real. Outside of kayfabe and the funnies, two black women being at the top of WWE is never going to be a bad thing for me. And for some of y'all black people that are on the internet bashing Bianca Belair over Jade Cargill when you should be uplifting them both, y'all dead ass wrong. Now, everybody is wanting Bianca to face off against Jade Cargill because that's going to be an exciting match. It's going to be fun to see who's going to be able to outpower the other. A lot of people want to see Charlotte going up against Jade, or even Bayley, Becky, Rhea Ripley, Piper, Nia Jax. There's an infinite amount of possibilities. Asuka, Io, you got so many different people that she could face off against and actually have really good matchups with. And y'all choose to be petty and start picking and choosing who she should go up against. I don't want to see her go up against Bianca. Bianca's trash. Let's see her go up against Charlotte. So when we get to WrestleMania next year and Bianca actually beats Charlotte, because that's happening, whether y'all wanted to or not, we'll see. We'll see how y'all react and respond then. Now, I'm not talking to people who are cracking jokes or people who are talking about matches and they're genuinely excited about Jade being there and they respect both women being in the WWE. I'm talking to you Neanderthal, Uncle Tom bitches. I'm talking to y'all that are posting on Twitter and dogging out Bianca and uplifting Jade, or you dogging out Jade and uplifting Bianca. Like, don't disrespect them like that. Leave them alone. Let them do them. Okay? Then what? Then it could be Bianca versus Jade if that's what they want to do. But Bianca's gonna beat Charlotte. She should. She definitely should. That'll mean she done took on all four horsewomen and she has beaten all four horsewomen. That's the way it should be. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, NXT has a PLE this Saturday, and I hope you guys watch it. I will go live after it is over. It is going to be No Mercy. This is going to be, I think, their third to last pay-per-view, because they're going to have Halloween Havoc, and then they're going to have that Iron Survivor Challenge pay-per-view. You know what I mean? They'll call it something else, and then they'll have the Iron Survivor Challenge in there. I hope they do, because I really like that match, and I really want them to do it. The dudes ate last year. It was so good. I'm hoping that the girls do better this year than they did last year, because theirs was boring.
I think they will learn from safe mistakes.
Like, they didn't really understand the rules of the match. I'm like, girl, it's a whole damn cage right there. Is you not gonna? All right. Anyways, Fastlane is going to be on October 7th, which is 1 week after No Mercy. Okay? I don't know, because y'all said Cody was going to beat Roman, and look what happened. So you don't think that Bianca's going to beat Charlotte at all? Or it's not going to be Bianca versus Charlotte? Okay. Don't forget the breakout tourneys too. Yeah, they are going to have the breakout tournaments. The girls, they sucked. I don't care. They were terrible. It wasn't a horrible match, but it was like it took them forever to get out the blocks. And I was just like, what are you doing? Ugh. But let's get back to Eli. Long-term Sally gives Bianca gonna beat her. I mean, according to Eli, we was wrong about Roman and Cody. So obviously I'm gonna be wrong about Bianca and Charlotte. I wasn't wrong about predicting the fact that Trick Williams more than likely was gonna end up in that match somehow. I'm not wrong about Cody being the one traded to SmackDown. They just haven't gotten there yet. I wasn't wrong about Rhea Ripley beating Charlotte Flair. I wasn't wrong about Bianca retaining at WrestleMania. I ain't never said I was perfect, but I'm not usually wrong. Now I may get it mixed up. I might have had it mixed up in terms of the time frame because that's what I wanted. And in hindsight, Triple H was right about how he booked it because the bloodline had not broken down yet, hadn't imploded. Things had to shift in order for that to work and make sense. To me, everything could have crumbled when Roman lost the title. But, like I said, I think everything is going to happen in due time. I might not have been right about it this year when it came to Mania, but I know that Cody's going to be WWE champion before next year is out. And I can guarantee you that. With Cody, we were given bait and 99% of fail for it. True. What match is Trick in? Trick Williams is competing in the North American Championship match against Dominic Mysterio. And Dragon Lee is going to be their special guest referee. I wasn't wrong, and then me and Nicole were right about Tiffany Stratton losing her championship. I just didn't pick her to choose to lose it 2 weeks ago. Nicole did. I thought she was going to lose it at No Mercy. I don't think she's going to get it back at No Mercy. Nicole does. So you can decide where you want to go with it, but it is what it is, babes. Now, like I said, I've been wrong on many occasions. I'm not perfect. But usually I'm pretty dead on when it comes to I'm pretty dead on when it comes to where I think the titles are going to go or how certain storylines are going to move. I'm in the ballpark if I'm not spot on. Nicole usually is right on the money majority of the time. Sometimes she pulls the trigger and it's not necessarily the case. But if you're betting average, I'm going to bet on Nicole every single time. I might bet on me, let's say 80% of the time, 90% of the time, I would bet on Nicole. Yeah, you did. Most of the time, we're right, Mr. Eli. When have you gotten a good prediction? I ain't mad at him for saying what he said. He's entitled to his opinion. But I know for a fact that you can go back on my Instagram page and look at most of the predictions that I've had. I've gotten at least 5 out of if it was 7 matches, I might have missed 2. maybe 2. I don't think she's getting that title back either. If she does, it'll be because of interference. I can't think of a recent time. Oh gosh. All I'm saying is the situation with Bianca, they're gonna move into a new space. They've got new stars, they've got new people coming in. You've got Brian Pillman Jr. in NXT. He's been working out. Hopefully he'll debut soon. Don't know where Jay is gonna debut, but she's there. You know what I'm saying? And I've said on many occasions that I was saying it earlier, and I agree with Tirza. I don't think Tiffany Stratton should stay in NXT anymore. If she loses this championship match to Becky Lynch, then I think she should go up. That's just me. I also think Roxanne should go up. I don't think Roxanne should still be in NXT anymore either. The 2 stories just don't add up. What 2 stories? And my man, thank you to my man. Oh, Donnie, if you haven't seen that match between Lucian Bronco and Tank and Hank, baby, you need to go watch that. Okay, find you a stream or something, so you can go see Lucian crawling on that floor, make you have heart palpitations. You're like, oh, that reminds me of something. I know what that is. But I'm going to mind my business. The 2 stories don't add up. And he said Cody versus Roman and Bianca versus the 4 Horsemen. If we go in, and I agree, because if you're going by history when it comes to Bianca, she's beaten everybody. She's beaten everybody. When it comes to Cody and Roman, the problem with the predictions when it came to Cody and Roman was simply I wanted what I wanted. It overrode any other option ever. It just did. My mind said Cody's winning. That's it. I don't want to hear nothing else. The way this crackhead said he was going to have me executed today, how was he going to do that? Just spray him with water, Rico. They ain't going to do nothing but cry. I think Jade going to Raw. You know what, Tirza? Given the fact that Raw is getting ready to be shopped around next year and it doesn't legitimately have a stable home, and neither does NXT, Jade is going to be one of the selling factors for why Raw goes where it goes. I still think that Raw is going to go to Amazon along with NXT. It's going to boost Amazon sales for Amazon Prime and Amazon Video. And most people already have Amazon Video. You feel what I'm saying? Because you got Amazon Prime. The smartest thing to do is to put her on Raw and let her be one of the deciding factors as to why people clamor for Monday Night Raw. If TKO was smart, that's how they would move. Given all of the buzz that they just had with her today alone, that's how I would shop around Monday Night Raw and NXT. I'm like, Jade Cargill is going to be on one, if not both of these shows. She's going to be one of the lead out breakout stars. If you want this network, we need to see an offer. Simple. He also called me Mr. Bobo. What's a Mr. Bobo? You don't know either? I don't know what that is. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played for the Bucks.
Yeah, drafted by the Bucks.
He was drafted by the Bucks. I thought he was drafted by LA.
Yeah, drafted by the Bucks. Got traded to LA.
For who?
I can't remember for who, but that shit
was stupid.
Pennies on the dollar.
What?
person that the LA, the Bucks got in return, talent wise, wasn't even close to Kareem. Wasn't even close to Kareem.
That's crazy. Putting her on SmackDown would be too much. No, but she would have plenty of time on Raw. She would have nothing but time on Raw. There's so much wiggle room on Raw. I put her on Raw too.
Matter of fact, when he got drafted by the Bucks, he wasn't going by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
What was he going by? His given name?
Which is Lou Alcindor.
Why he changing? Because he Muslim now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, babe. Child, I don't know. Because we had to kick him out earlier. And then he came back in. I was like, sir, you know you're not supposed to be in here. You are banned from his store. And he had all this rah-rah. Raw is best for her right now at this stage in her career. Facts on facts. Having Bianca on SmackDown and being the only female superstar selected to represent WWE during the TKO merger, and having Jade on Raw as the first signee of the TKO era. Facts on facts, Tirza. You are dead on. Spot on. She's working. She's cooking, as Trey D would say. She's the only one with her hand in the pot. Besides Don, he always got his hands in the pot. No. Put that garlic in there. Put that garlic in there. Don't put that in there. Don't. Now the question is heel or face, because I know how to book a heel Jade. To be fair, you can book Jade as an anti-hero character. She doesn't have to be a babyface. I wouldn't book her as a babyface. I would book her as an anti-hero, or she would be a heel Jade. And I think because you've got Nia Jax over there as one of your strongest heels, you need to make her an anti-hero character. She needs to be somebody who moves like a heel but operates under the guise of a face. But she won't present herself as a baby face. She would be presenting herself as an anti-hero character. Somebody who could be well liked but still does the right things. Similar to Jey Uso right now. Because I wouldn't call Jey Uso a baby face. I would stick him into that anti-hero role. I'm just glad these black queens are being treated like the superstars that they are. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Like, love everybody down, but black women get the most online. We are always the target. We are always being destroyed. And it's just so disheartening. And every single day you see that kind of shit online, it can get to you. So to see two black girls at the top of the mountain and both of them being proud of being unapologetically black, it makes my heart smile, because both of them understand the significance of what they're doing. Jade knew exactly what she was doing. And I think she knew she was going to get her ass back to WWE at some point. She turned them down on purpose because she needed to build herself up so she can get back here. And now she on one of the grandest stages of them all. And she going to show her ass when she come over here. So she lightweight used Tony Khan and them.
I ain't mad at it.
And she said it on that podcast. Like, I'm going to go find that podcast because they've been putting excerpts of her interview up there. Mm-hmm. But she said it very plainly. She said, money's great. I can always get money. Right. But I want to be great. And I know in order to be great, I got to make certain moves in order to do that. Mm-hmm. And if you betting against me, that's your problem.
That's your problem. Yeah, I seen that the excerpt of it on Twitter.
Oh, yes, I do. You be the first one. Don't put that in there. Grab that garlic. Grab some of that onion powder. Get that. Put that in there. Go on, get that paprika. I selfishly want Jade to go to Raw so she could drop Nia's ass. Girl, we all do. Okay? Because Nia talking in her rhythmic robot. We are the boys in motion. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
How did she talk to Liv?
Please. Like, I put her on and says, and if this brand versus brand, they put stock in her and act like a savior. And they dark skin, buff and shit. And she's just like, gotcha, bitch. Rico, they are not dark skinned. They're both brown. Nope, they're not dark skinned. People don't realize how major it was having Bianca being the only female superstar at that merger, and how major it is. Jade is getting the attention that she is now, that it's been official that she's been signed to WWE. Yeah, she's garnering rock style views for her being signed to WWE. The clips of her going around, and the clip that I've seen the most is the one where she was wrestling Sky Blue, and she was able to drop Sky Blue down like that, to hear her with that what they call it? It's Beth Phoenix's move.
Glam slam?
Yeah, to hear her with her modified glam, that shit.
The one I say was just her walking to the performance center.
That's the only clip you saw?
Mm-hmm.
I follow a lot of wrestling dirt sheets, so I saw a bunch of them, and they all created little compilations of her. And they got the one where she was at I think it was Double or Nothing, and she did her entrance with Big Boss Beck. All the pretty girls walk like this. How they walk? How they walk? Now that she's signed with WWE, it makes me happy and proud that both women are getting treated like the superstars they are without having to jump through hoops and hurdles. I feel you. Some of them fans jumping ship. I saw a lot of shit online, baby. They saying Tony Khan dropped the ball. They got a damn picture of him that say failed on it. I said, God damn, what the? I was like, goodness. The reason why is because you could have had Jade as your champion right now. Somebody on Twitter said, you mean to tell me, let me find it so y'all can see it, because Nicole sent it to us in the group chat, but baby, when I tell you he ate whoever said that, whoever he was talking about Tony Khan, he ate Tony Khan's ass up. Okay, he told her little ass up. Hold on, y'all. I don't know what I did. Y'all, they got Uno No Mercy. I can't find that No Mercy Uno nowhere. Ooh, okay, let me show y'all what JD said. JD from New York is hating. I'm gonna read it because it's gonna look really small. So I was on Twitter and I happened to be scrolling by, and I saw this, and I'm like, what? Why is he mad? She about to give us gear and wigs. Hopefully, she still got her white wig on, babe. Gear definitely. TK did drop the ball. That was a triple homicide. I saw a lot of AEW marks on Twitter. Like she wasn't that good in the ring anyway. And I'm like, why is that weak ass response always what they go with? Like, go fuck yourself. I don't even watch AEW and I didn't understand why she was never women's champ. That guy's a piece of shit. I dragged his ass a while ago for some shit he said about Bianca and he blocked me. Oh, he blocking everybody. I'm gonna read to you what he said, and then we're going to have a little kiki about it. Let's stir the pot is how this starts off. So let me zoom in a little bit. Oh, it won't let me. So sorry. I find it funny how Jade Cargill got the ESPN treatment upon signing with WWE. She did nothing in AEW to warrant such an announcement and has nothing as far as a resume or career highlight goes. WWE is treating this like the biggest signing ever because of where she came from. They do things so strategically and with purpose. It's their way of saying, haha, now watch us do what you failed to do. The community doesn't help either, with tribal, no lifers acting like this is the end of times for AEW. Like Tony Khan isn't seeing this already putting pen to paper on Mercedes coming in. She is reporting to the performance center, which is a start, but with such a major announcement, you better have her ready. I don't give a shit about what she looks like. She better get where she is an equal to the top tier in women in the company. If you're acting like she is one already, the microscope is already prepped and ready. So Alfred K writes for Forbes Sports and he writes on wrestling a lot. He also does Wrestling Inc.'s podcast, and he it's always been a prominent black voice in wrestling. He said, as we speak, JD from Proud Boys is wiping a tear listening to Don Imus. Over under the number of slurs he screams from his booster seat the night Jade wins the Rumble. I'll set the line at 9.5. So let me put it this way. Yeah, but you know, 2K be fucking up, baby. They do. Sounds like a hater. So let me explain why Jade Cargill is garnering all this news and all this buzz is surrounding her, or why WWE is putting the machine behind her the way that they did. I remember a few years ago, well, not even a few years ago, but I remember some years ago, back in the day, when you had girls like China, and when they finally did put the machine behind China, China was everywhere. China was seen on everything from Playboy. She was everywhere. They did it with all the girls that came in through that what was it, that diva search they used to do. They put the machine behind each one of those girls that came in, whether they did well with it or not. They were one of the people who was pushed in that diva search, and it happens often. It's just that they did Jade right when she came into the The simplest explanation is she's already popular, she's already famous. Why not boost her and boost ourselves at the same time? They're a brand new company on the public trading block. Of course, they're going to use Jade stock and boost themselves up. You would be a goddamn fool to have a woman like that coming into your company off of being 60-1 in the rival company. Let me make that clear. She was 60-1. Not only that, but she was well ingrained in the pop culture with the way that she operated. She was able to get herself onto the dirt sheets and be a part of the blogs organically without that heavy promotion, because we all know AEW don't have no goddamn marketing. They just don't. She was using rappers like she was using rappers like Shad Moss, if that's what you want to call him. And that worked for her, especially in the black community. It worked for her. It boosted her and it made her go up to the top. Now, and then on top of that, she is unapologetically herself. She also represents her soror, and that she does that proudly. WWE would be an absolute fool to be a multi-billion-dollar company and to not boost the fact that they have one of the biggest free agents in the world of wrestling available at their disposal and has got them signed to their company. I would market her ass around the world too. Are you kidding me? She would be everywhere. I would pay every blog to post her. What did you think they were going to do? Then you're in your feelings. But you know what you did? You reaffirmed every reason why they have to do what they're doing in your little comment. Because if we go back to what you said the community doesn't help either with tribal no-lifers acting like this is the end of times for AEW. Like Tony Khan isn't seeing this already, putting pen to paper on Mercedes coming in. My thing is this. Mercedes would have been there whether Jay left or not. If Mercedes shows up in AEW, good for fucking AEW. But the whole dynamic of AEW is gonna change because she's there. That means no more centering your company around Saraya. That means a lot of girls are not gonna get time because you're gonna be focused specifically on Mercedes. You're gonna be focused on Mercedes Bernardo. So what are you talking about? They're gonna do her the same way that they did Jade. So you're gonna be bitching then too, right? Yep. Right? You're going to have the same problem with Mercedes booking over in AEW, right? Don't hate the player, hate the game. If Tony Khan wanted to have this type of how can I put it, groundswell, this type of talking, he would put the money down to make sure he got it. Now let's be real. Mercedes would be considered a bigger star, right? So if that's going to happen with her, I want to see the same smoke. I want to see you out here bad and in your feelings because Mercedes is getting booked in AEW. No one says it's going to be the end of days for AEW, but they dropped the ball. Because if I recall, not too long ago, when Adam Cole left AEW, you and the rest of your little cronies, you little weirdo fucking AEW stands was running around talking about this was the end of days for at WWE because Adam Cole is going over to AEW. You said the same thing about Jay White and the same thing about y'all Lord and Savior CM Punk. And AEW is still trucking along, but CM Punk ain't there. And WWE's been minding their business. While y'all keep looking through the looking glass at what they're doing, y'all getting left. You're left behind. But your boss is doing the same shit that Vince McMahon was doing.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this, and I still stand by this wholeheartedly. AEW would be much further along now if they weren't so focused on pulling old WWE talent. Every champion that you've had who's held a belt has come from the E. At some point, you may have had your talent as you brought in when you started the company to get the belt eventually.
Like MJF, Orange Cassidy, right. Chris Statlander.
The first champion for every belt that you guys got, except for the tag team titles, were former E talent. You gave the belt to Jericho at first.
Yeah, then it was Moxley.
Then you gave it to Moxley.
Then it was Omega. Then it was Adam Page. Then it was Omega.
You introduced the TNT title. You gave it to Cody.
Yeah.
Well, you should have gave it to Sonny.
Or it started off with Darby Allin because he was hot at that moment.
Right. I'll take that back. The tag titles in a new, they're equivalent to the Intercontinental title. Is it the International Championship or something like that?
Yeah, the AEW one.
Right. I think the first person who had that was Orange Cassidy, wasn't it?
You want the first? No, Darby Allin had it. Darby was the first to have it.
But outside of them, in the women's title, that's it.
Yes.
Every time I watch it, every time we click to it, we turn to it, this whatever shit that they got going on, it's former E guys is leading the front. but yet you claim you got the best talent in the world, but we never get to see it.
And you can't blame nobody else because I be seeing a lot of people like, oh, that's on booking. Well, Tony Khan said it himself. He's head of booking. He's head of creative. He's the general manager and he's the CEO. So everything is Tony Khan's fault.
Yeah.
It's all his fault. Now, nobody was mad when Saraya was over there showing up in AEW and getting all the shine in the world. Nobody said nothing. Everybody was like, okay, Saraya, live your best life. WWE wasn't going to let you wrestle. You know what I'm saying? They said your neck was too messed up. You didn't want to stay with WWE. You was tired of living by their rules. So you left. Cool beans. Everybody was capping for Tony Storm being over there in AEW. And at first she wasn't doing shit. But now she got a true legit character that works for her. Right? I'm just saying, everybody was hyped. Ruby was over there. What happened to Ruby? You give Ruby one opportunity. She done had 2 or 3 opportunities at a title and then lost every one of them. Ruby ain't got off the block since she got there. She might as well still be in WWE. She ended up joining the group with Outcast and still didn't get nowhere.
Athena left. Wasn't getting no traction. She had to go to fucking Ring of Honor.
Tony owns Ring of Honor.
That's what I'm saying.
He had to buy a new company so that other people could be champion. Because Claudio ended up leaving WWE and became champion in Ring of Honor. That's how Samoa Joe became TV champ.
But because you had too many fucking people, you had to buy another company and start funneling your guys over there. And guess what? It's former E-Talent running the shit over there too. What the fuck are you doing?
Trios champs. The Trios champs were House of Black.
They were in the E. Athena, formerly known as Ember Moon,
in the E,
was in the E.
Claudio, Samoa Joe,
who has the top belt in Ring of Honor, correct?
Not no more.
Well, but he had it.
Yeah.
Former E guy. Joe. Former E guy.
Yeah. I'm just glad we're getting more representation in WWE. I'm excited to watch Jay's run. She said, who gives a fuck about Mercedes? No shade. Who's to say Mercedes is staying? Listen, if Tony Khan gets to have Mercedes over there, she's going to be just like Will Ospreay. Okay? She's going to be just like Will Ospreay. I don't see her staying in AEW for nothing long term. Because she likes being over in New Japan. She likes wrestling over there and she enjoys being in Tokyo. That's something that she is truly having a good time with. I don't see Mercedes being there long term. Do I see her going over there to shake some tables and some apartments? Sure. Which I don't have no fucking problem with. Do your thing. But it's weird to me that you would bring up Mercedes in this conversation when everybody's still talking about Jade and Jade. See? Nicole just solidified it for me. I'm not crazy, AJ. I know better. What? I know better than that. That girl's not gonna be in AEW for no long-term 5-year contract like Cole or Britt Baker or like Rhea. I mean, not Rhea, but what's her name? I just said her name. I can't think of her fucking name. Not Tony.
Right?
No.
Ruby?
Yeah, Ruby. I couldn't think of it for nothing. She's not going to sign that type of a contract. No, she'll be there. She'll do a couple. Exactly. New Japan allows you to wrestle for other promotions. And Mercedes is okay with wrestling for other promotions, but she's not going to sign pen to paper and be like, yeah, I'm an AEW mark. She's not going to do that.
You're not going to get the tweet saying that Mercedes is all over.
Oh, you'll get the tweet. But she's not going to be official. She's just going to be wrestling like Will Ospreay does. That's the way she's going to do it. That's what I was saying. And for people to, what really baffled me is it's always you always find a way to nitpick and say something disrespectful. But y'all be in y'all feelings when I be breaking down Alexa Bliss, I'm breaking down Cora Jade, and I'm breaking down the white girls because nobody does it. Y'all all pop and scream and holler for them hoes. They need to be taken down a peg or two too. Shit. And you talking about Jade as if Jade's not going to work hard to get herself where she needs to be. She was able to do it in AEW, and AEW don't have shit there for them to proceed them to advance themselves with. They had the Nightmare Factory, but that ain't there no more. And the only person that's really there is Daniel Bryan. And he too busy bleeding on TV every week. Damn near killing himself. She going back home to the E when she signed another contract, and that will probably be her last one. And she still wants to do Stardom too. His statement is giving colorism. Can't stand the dark-skinned woman is getting the recognition she deserves. So let me mention the lighter-skinned, white-passing white woman to perpetuate my BS. People need to listen to Jay's interview and what comes out of her mouth, because she talks about all of this. That's what I was talking about earlier. Where is Nyla Rose being? She was on Collision, I think. Was it Collision that she was on?
I can't remember.
She was wrestling on one of them shows this week. I can't remember which one. But she was out there. It's just conversation for me because I know better. I know that when Jade debuts, she's gonna be ready. Triple H ain't that stupid. She either's gonna have a debut like what Nia had, or she's gonna come in and just save somebody or lay waste to somebody. It's gonna be something that's gonna make her look good in the process. And then by the time she has her first match, she's gonna be prepared. They act like she's coming to work tomorrow. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like let it happen first. And even if Jade is a little stiff when she gets out the blocks, give her a chance to work, because y'all didn't have no, like I can't stress it enough. I can't stress it enough. Y'all don't have no problem when the other girls debut and they aren't shit. Because Tiffany Stratton wasn't shit when she debuted. It took JC a little bit to get out the blocks when she debuted. Same for Gigi. Roxanne was a little wonky when she first debuted. You have to give them an opportunity to clean up and tighten up. Everybody's not going to be a Bianca Belair or a Rhea Ripley or Charlotte. And even Charlotte wasn't that good when she first debuted. Go back on NXT and watch it. She wasn't that great. Becky was rocky. Let them work first before you start passing off judgment. Give them some time. You can critique it and say it wasn't as good as it could have been. But for y'all know y'all, and the reason why you doing this is so you can have a reason to shit on it. So you can have a reason to talk shit. But I'm going to tell you what, the counterpart of all of this in AEW, Jade was fully green in AEW, and they had her wrestling on pay-per-views. Okay? She was fully booked like she was ready to go. And she was green as the motherfucker. Okay? So your counterpart in Booker doing her no better. So let's just keep it fucking real. Nicole said she got to come out and whoop people. Everybody got to shake off the cobwebs, period. Charlotte was greener than Iceland back in the day. AJ Styles, one of the 3 people to skip NXT, and one of the GOATs said himself, he wished he went to the PC for a bit before debuting. Period. Their ladle face Dennis is still wonky. Well, okay, he literally got her fresh out of school. I'm just saying. Tony threw her ass out there into that water. She had to sink or swim. And for a little bit, she was sinking. But she was able to tighten up and straighten up. Like, get it together. If you're going to call a spade, then call it a spade. But stop trying to make that club fit in that box because it don't fit. The kind of shit you talking, you just mad because your homeboy fumbled the ball. He should have passed it to somebody who could maintain the run. And Tony can't. So,
make no damn sense.
If you like,
had all the fucking people signed to the roster. Realize you had too many fucking people signed to the roster. Then you do AEW Dark. Dark was putting up better numbers on fucking YouTube than a live TV show was. So you pulled that shit from YouTube.
They pulled all of that stuff and they funneled everything into Elevation and Rampage. Then they decided to pull out Collision. They pulled Elevation, kept Rampage, and now they have Collision, Dynamite, and Rampage.
Right.
I'm telling you. Who are you yelling about? I'm talking about Tony Khan. Well, JD is who we was talking about. The dude JD from New York. He's the one who said something weird on the internet, and everybody was going at his neck. He did it on purpose so he could draw views and ire. But since you want the spotlight, bitch, I'm going to give it to you. I has no problems with putting your ass out there. Every time somebody say something he don't like, he blocks them. But this is what he said. So he claims he don't give a shit about what Jade Cargill looks like, but he show love. He show love obsessing over Alexa Bliss and her ass every week on his YouTube channel. But he claimed he don't care what nobody look like. I'm just saying, just because she ain't your cup of tea, if she was what you like to look at, you wouldn't be saying none of this. You'd be like, welcome to the E. Petty bitch. It's true. Wrestling for WWE is different than anywhere else. Seth, Mercedes, Bailey, and a slew of others who worked the indies said they had to unlearn everything they did on the indies when they got signed to WWE PC. Meanwhile, the bitches that they see half the time can't get a pop unless they turn or involve weapons. Well, on a stormy sea, you know Jesus. She said, oh, I don't even pay him no mind. I don't even read all of that. He does that shit for views and engagement. I don't give him either. I ain't give him no like on this video, no retweet, no nothing. Matter of fact, this came from somebody else that I follow that talks about wrestling. And I was just like, huh, isn't that interesting? Plus, I'm blocked. He blocked me because I said, okay, to be fair, I didn't like what he said about Bianca. Let me think if I can remember what I said. I can't remember. I can't remember what I said. I said something. And I don't know what I said. But he blocked me. So not the Sagittarius came out. She might have. To be fair, I came across it and I wanted to talk about it. And it wasn't just because it was point of conversation and it's fine. But I feel what you're saying, Nicole. However, there were other people online talking about it as well. And when I started this conversation, they were talking about how I didn't like how they was pitting Bianca against Jade. and it was black people doing it, and I don't like that. Now I know, like, we joke and we jest and we have a good time, but this is the thing: when you are talking about the advancement of my people, and I see that my people are finally starting to get somewhere in a space that is predominantly for white people, I'm going to be very critical of you as a black person who is sitting up here talking shit about these two black women, or disgracing one and hyping up the other when you could be hyping them both. There was a tweet that I can't fucking find of this black girl talking about everybody want to talk about Bianca versus Jade. I don't want to see that shit. Bianca ain't shit. I want to see Jade versus Charlotte. Like I said, my thing is this: when I see black people finally winning and getting everything that we so rightfully deserve, and you coming in as a black person and you're starting to shit on that, I got a problem. Because I want to see Jay versus Bianca too. I want to see.
I want two black women headlining WrestleMania again.
Period. Do you know what that would look like? Jade and Bianca headlining Mania. I say they could do if they do it while Bianca's champion, and they do champion versus champion. Make it a winner take all. That's a winner take all I would watch. As long as you don't add Charlotte to the damn mix, I don't give a fuck what you do. He blocked me because I dragged his ass about Bianca too. Today was too positive for Jay to let some gremlin get any type of clout or recognition. She right. I ain't even go front. Nicole is absolutely right. Jay wants that too. It's wild. Bianca has me blocked, but I'm not going to downplay her abilities. I still don't understand what Don said to make that woman block him, but I'm sure it has something to do with him calling her a loser. I told him to stop calling that lady a loser. She said Bianca is one of her dream matches, period. Hopefully, Char will have a chimichanga by then. Gerard.
I get it, but I'm not. No, I'm not giving you that. I'm not. You ignorant as fuck. And I know ain't nobody said this shit for Rico.
No, it wasn't. It was Don.
Oh wow.
It was fucking Don.
My bad, Rico.
It was fucking Don. Don ain't shit. He always talk about she gonna have a little taco when she get ready to get pregnant.
Nigga said it. Little chimichanga.
He ain't shit. I wouldn't mind seeing two black women main event WrestleMania again. He said, I called her a loser most likely, and I'm not taking it back. Her ass was losing. Gosh darn it, Don. He just can't. He ain't gonna never give it up. Now, why am I in it? Because Gerard thought you said that she was gonna have a chimichanga.
That's a Rico statement.
It really ain't. It's a Don statement.
No, I'm talking about the fucked up how it is. I ain't talking about what was said.
I mean, yeah.
That was left field. Rico stay in left field.
He said, yeah, I said it. He put it in all caps. That's why your black ass is blocked. That's why. Because you petty.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Y'all, look, I can't stay up with y'all all night. I'm not going to. Y'all go ahead and make sure you follow me here on YouTube. Subscribe. I will be back tomorrow and we can kiki about wrestling tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to play a new game that I want to do. I want to talk about the most toxic couples in TV and movies and some in real life. We're going to talk about it because it's going to be fun. Because I saw it on the React channel and I was like, this is interesting. But they ain't pick up the people that I wanted them to pick. So we're going to get into it. Because the ones that I got, I got some doozies. I got some dudes, and I got some people from all eras, from the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and from this era. Okay, so we're gonna be picking the. We're gonna be talking about how they toxic. I'm gonna invite in whoever want to come in. Y'all can talk with me. We gonna kick it because I gotta get up tomorrow. I gotta film a podcast, and I have to work with my brother, my nephew today, tomorrow, and get his homework done. Today is J Day. Period. Damn it, Don, how do you get blocked by Bianca out of all people? I'm gonna tell you this much: if Jay versus Bianca, if Bianca versus Jay main events at WrestleMania, my black ass will be there. I want pictures. I want full pictures and video. Boo! She should have been winning matches. That's why your ass. That's why your ass blocked now. That's the reason why. Yes, she listened to some good music today. I did. You know what? I have to do the music podcast with the boys this week if they have time, because I really like the two albums that Rico suggested. I did like SZA's SOS album, but I'm still sticking to I like Control better than I liked SOS. There's another album that Don suggested that I haven't listened to yet. He gonna yell at me, so I'm just gonna be like, just tell me what I haven't listened to that you want me to listen to, so you don't be cussing me out. But I did all the homework I was supposed to do. I did it. Okay. I love seeing niggas win. Period. Nicole, why they gotta be niggas though? Nicole, please. Please, my back hurt. I can't. I can't. Oh, I'm off tomorrow. We're gonna have a good time tomorrow, I promise. We'll talk some more about wrestling, but we're gonna move into the SBC chat. I like doing the SBC chat early because it's out the way and I can end the show on a better note than the SBC stuff. And we're gonna talk about toxic couples tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. I promise y'all. It's gonna be a good time. Rico, have you heard Snow Wife? What the hell is that? ASL Ari Lennox. That's the one. I forgot. Okay.
I gotta listen to that my damn self.
All right. I will listen to that tomorrow while I'm helping my nephew out. I was listening to classical music today and it put me in a good headspace. And I was like, I need to start listening to this more often. I was literally listening to Mozart today. And it helped my nephew focus. And he was very in tune with what we had to do. So I'm going to just play Mozart when I feel like my mind is wandering and I need something to help me focus. I'm going to play Mozart because it seemed to work. So I'm working tomorrow, but in the afternoon, and I'll be home before Freestyle Wednesday. Very good. ASL is so noise, but I was fighting for my life with SSLTH when I got high on the road. I can't. It's a vibe. Classical puts me to sleep. It's very soothing and relaxing, but it made me focus a little bit, and I was kind of in a different headspace, which I like. I be fighting for my life. Pre-K. Poor baby. But anyways, and I like gospel music for that too. It makes me a little emotional. If y'all haven't seen Kirk Franklin's doc on YouTube yet, I highly recommend that you go and watch it. It's really good. He has an album coming out in a week called Father's Day. He reconciled with his son Carrion on that documentary as well. Some people are shitting on it, saying it's very performative, but I don't think so. I think it's some real shit going on with Kirk Franklin and everything that he's been through. It's a good doc. It's only 35 minutes. It's not that long. It really gets to the point. Like it starts out and goes right into what it needs to talk about. And then at the end, he reconciles with his son Carrion, which is what I really wanted to see. And I was hoping they had put that on there. It's so good. And I'll talk about that tomorrow too. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on the show. Bye. Let me see what Rico said first. He said, I don't know what was happening, but the damn songs were playing, and I thought they were ended, but then the verse would hit, and I was like, wait. Or I think we on a bridge, but then the verse 2 would play. I can't. Just said he's still addicted to porn. As far as I know, no, he no longer is addicted to porn. But he was at one point. But he said that he was able to overcome that through therapy, and his wife stuck by him through all of that too. I think he cheated on her a couple times as well. It's a lot, but that it doesn't cover that stuff. It covers his father, the situation with his father, and how his mother has been lying to him about his paternity for his father. It's a really good doc, and I think a lot of people will watch it. I was crying watching it because I felt bad for him. Because I know there's a lot of guys who've gone through that. My husband has gone through that. I have a brother who has gone through that. Not with my mom lying to him, because my mom told my brother the truth, but there's the denial and everything is just it's very, very hard. Good night, y'all. Good night. He said, whole time I ended up on the damn interstate. You could have died. Don't you ever do that again. Them songs like fused together. Like I look back at it now, and I was high as hell and ended up in South Carolina. His music in the late 90s was bomb. He has good music now, Tears. I promise you. He does a lot of samples of old style music, like old samples of the OJs, old samples of like Frankie Beverly and Mays, and he makes it into decent music. I like his music. It's very crossover capable. Oh, one last thing. I'm finally watching Miss Pat show. My mom was watching that the other day. She was up here watching it, and Gerard told me the last thing he saw was Pat was pregnant. I was like, what? It was an accident.
Oh that's it. It was on the side of the yard. Yeah, a little bit on the paper.
It dribbled.
Yeah.
This is it came out of the straw, look like.
Yeah.
But he didn't. That's not the point. I genuinely did not do it on purpose. I had forgotten I had even taken a bite of the edible until I was already on the road. Yeah, that was wild. The way my new growth is growing new growthing. She said it's new. I'm leaving. Y'all, I'll see y'all tomorrow. New growthing.